RFK fired this guy who was prominent at the CDC. And then he went all over the airwaves and talked about how this was a calamity. And the fake news, the weekend shows, they put him on. This is very serious. Now, this is the guy that the left has propped up over the last week to demonstrate that RFK is like this spiraling case. This is their expert. This is who they're hanging their hat on. Again, they hang their hat on very bizarre people. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, wife beater, child trafficker. This is what they do. Let's listen to him, and then let's remind you who he is. Roll it.
I mean, from my vantage point as a doctor who's taken the Hippocratic Oath, I only see harm coming. I may be wrong, but based on what I'm seeing, based on what I've heard with the new members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices, or ACIP, they're really moving in an ideologic direction where they want to see the undoing of vaccination. They do want to see the undoing of mRNA vaccination. They have a very specific target on COVID, but I do fear that they have other things that they are going to be working on. Hepatitis B vaccine is on the agenda for the meeting
Stop
in
giving
September.
it to our children.
I predict that what they're going to do is try to change the birth dose of hepatitis B vaccine.
All right, so you got this guy, they're going to change this vaccine, they're going to change that vaccine, it's very serious. And they act like this guy is a credible figure, not a mentally ill psychopath. Here he is. Here is Dmitry Tiskakias, or whatever his name is. Here he is. Does this look like a guy who, if you had to go get a life-saving surgery and you had to go to a medical professional for advice, would you go to this guy? Does he look very mentally stable to you? Does he look like the kind of guy who would prescribe children puberty blockers? Does he look like the kind of guy who would take bizarre mind-altering drugs? Does he look like the kind of guy who would deny basic science like a man's a man and a woman's a woman? Does he look like a guy who at any second would spiral off the rails, jump off a cliff, kill a couple of the trainees that he's hiring for sex work to perform favors on himself? Does he look like that guy? Yeah, not the guy that I would trust for anything. But that's the guy. That's the guy that Democrats trot out